What is going on, guys? My name is Drakesy and welcome back to a brand new episode / video on this channel. Today's video is going to be an idea that I've come up with and I'm not sure whether it's going to work. I'm not sure whether you guys are going to enjoy it, but I kind of like the idea in my head, so I'm going to go ahead and do the video. Today's video is going to be something that I'm going to call the Ultimate Leagues. Now the idea, if I can kind of somewhat explain this, is going to be I've put all the best teams in FIFA. Teams that have finished the leagues, as we all know, the leagues like Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, or is it Calcio A, I think it's called now. All the big leagues have now finished up and we know the top teams from each league. So I've gone ahead and looked through all the top teams and put them into the first league in Spain, so that's going to be in La Liga. Then all the kind of smaller sub-teams, teams like Everton and West Ham, teams that are highly supported, teams like AC Milan and Inter Milan, I've put into the second league in Spain. So now we have two leagues that consist of the best teams in the world. And as you can see, I'm flicking through on the screen now between all the teams that are in La Liga, the first league, and then all the teams that are in the second league in Spain. So you'll be seeing that on your screen now and which teams are where. Now what this will enable us to do is what we're going to go ahead and do is we'll pick one of the teams to just use for the time being, and we're going to sim through half of a season. Then we'll see where the teams stand. Then we're going to sim to the end of the season and see where the teams stand. Now what we'll be able to do, this will be the end of this video, but what we'll be able to do if we do in episode 2 is we'll see at the end of the career mode, at the end of today's episode, which teams have gone up in the league and which teams have gone down. So 3 teams will go down from the top league and then 3 teams will actually come up. So this will now give us the ability of seeing which teams come up and which teams go down and kind of getting an understanding of which team is actually the best in the world. So I hope you kind of understand this, and to be honest, the main idea of this is just to see which team comes out on top. So we've got all the big boys like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, any big team that you can think are in this league now. And hopefully it kind of somewhat comes out as a good idea. We can see which team finishes top. We might see some shocks, and yeah, we're just going to analyse and look over where teams come, I guess. So yeah, without any further ado, I hope you have enjoyed this intro. I hope it makes sense, and if you do like this idea and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe because it really does help. Thank you very much, and let's get into the episode. So the team that I have in fact decided to use for this career mode is going to be in fact Manchester City. Now you may be thinking why, but to be honest, they're a mid-level team that have a pretty decent squad and it'll be good to see where they kind of stand. I'm guessing they're going to be midway through the league, probably about 8th or 9th position, so it'd be good to be a team that's not going to maybe get relegated straight away. But yeah, I feel like Man City are going to do decent, but they might not win it. So I want them to be a kind of mid-level team, and fingers crossed that's what works out. So without any further ado, we're going to pick Man City. So as you can see, we are now into the career mode, and this is how it looks with the teams in hand. So far, this is the Liga Santander, the top league in Spain, or should we just call it for now, just scribble out Liga Santander at the top and call it the Ultimate League. Because as you can see, guys, some of the teams in this league are incredible. Looking at them all here, it looks like a fantastic lineup. It's basically the Champions League as a league. So yeah, it's just something that is just beautiful to behold, and it's kind of a cool hypothetical idea of who ends up where. So as you can see, this is the top league in Spain, and then we're going to flick across to Liga Santander, and then this is the second league in Spain. So as we can see, all the teams in here. Now as you can be seeing, there are a few odd ones that you might not know why they're in there. But the main one that stands out to some of you maybe in there is going to be Real Oviedo. Now I just saw them, they were already in the Spanish second league, and I kind of just thought I'd leave them there just to see how they get on. As many of you may know, it's a team that Spencer FC is linked to. So I saw them in the Spanish second league, and I just want to see how they do against some of the powerhouses in this league. So I kind of just kept them there just to see how they do overall. So that is the second league. This is the first league. When it flicks back to it, this is the first league. Here we go. And yeah, without any further ado, we're going to be skipping into the seasons halfway, seeing at the halfway point where teams are standing and how everybody's doing. We're also going to be looking at the top goal scorers in the main league, as well as the top assist makers and all of that goodness. So without any further ado, let's sim halfway into the season. So we're coming up now, guys, to the end of the simulation, as we can see, and we've just finished up, I think, round about now, the day before our next matchup against RB Leipzig. Now, I've not seen anything, as you guys, I don't know whether you caught that, but that is the end of the simulation. I've been waiting on it, so fingers crossed we can go ahead and see what happens next. I have no idea where teams are going to be standing at this point. It's going to be quite incredible to see. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check the halfway point of the season. And wow, okay, I'm already seeing some interesting things. But anyway, as we can see at the top of the league stands Real Madrid. They've played 20 games into the season, Real Madrid, and they stand on 40 points. Then we've got Barcelona also playing 20 games. They stand in second with 38 points. Then we've got Monaco, a shock surprise to be honest. Monaco pushing it up there with the big guys. They've actually finished up playing 20 games and they're 35 points as well. They are on the same points as Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich do have 2 games in hand. Then we've got Paris Saint-Germain. Then in 6th, the team that we're playing as, Man City, kind of around about where I guessed. Chelsea in at 7th, Man United in at 8th, Dortmund coming in at 9th, Spurs in at 10th, Arsenal in at 11th, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Napoli, Roma, Porto, RB Leipzig, just pushing it out of the relegation zone. But sadly in the relegation zone it looks like it's actually Sevilla, Liverpool and Celtic, all not looking too good. Liverpool and Celtic looking particularly bad at the moment, but all that can change. We are only halfway through the league so far. Now looking at some of the top goal scorers in the league so far, we've got Corona of Porto, a guy that I don't even think I've heard of, is the top goal scorer in the Ultimate League so far. As we can see, he's got 12 goals into halfway through the season, so if he carries on at that rate, he'll be wrapping up the season with around about, what, 24 goals if he carries that on? Or thereabouts, not too bad at all. I do believe Porto aren't even that far up the league as well. I think they're around about 12th with it, I might be wrong, but yeah, pretty good goal scorer for them. Then we've also got Ronaldo, obviously one of the top goal scorers, getting 10 goals. Then one of our own, English boy, Raheem Sterling, also on par with Ronaldo in the Ultimate League. Looks like he stepped up for Man City in this made-up fantasy as well. And then some very, very well-known names as well in there too. So as we can see, some pretty interesting people getting to be the top goal scorers. Then we're going to flick across to the top assist makers. Cavani coming up at number 1, did not expect that. Insigne just behind him with 5. Same for Nacer Chadli. I don't even think Nacer Chadli is at Tottenham anymore, but in this made up fantasy he still is, and he's doing very good for him as well. Then just below him we've got Konoplyanka of Sevilla, who's doing not too bad as well. And then the main man, Ronaldo, cover star of FIFA 18. If you don't know, you probably all know by now, but as we can see, he's on 4, so he's not doing too bad either. And then his main man just below him, Messi, as well. So far the best goalkeeper looks like it's actually been Subasic of AS Monaco. As you can see, he's kept 7 clean sheets, along with Keylor Navas just below him. Then just on 1 less clean sheet, it's Claudio Bravo, who for some reason in this career mode is still at Barcelona. I don't know whether he's transferred back to Barcelona in this game mode or whether the transfer's not been done. I'm not too sure with that one either. But then as we can see, the usual suspect just below them, Manuel Neuer. And to be honest, I would expect to see David De Gea unless he's transferred to a new team. I can't seem to see him. Yep, he's there in at 20th with 2 clean sheets. He's having a particularly bad season this season. And then it's not too interesting, but looking at yellow cards, it looked like Jimenez of Atletico Madrid, the centre-back, looks like he's the main man racking them up at the moment, along with De Rossi of Roma, and then also a guy from Celtic, Lustig, I've never even heard of him, and then a few more, well, defenders I can guess, or defensive-minded players coming up as you would expect. And then for red cards, nothing really interesting as you would expect, just ones all round. And now we move on to the league just below them, and that is La Liga 1, 2, 3, I guess if you are Spanish, but for me it's going to be La Liga 1, 2, 3. But as you can see, ripping the league apart, ripping them a new one. It seems like Everton are having a very, very dominant league campaign so far, getting to be top of the league. I would not have expected them to be the top. Then just underneath them, AC Milan, then Benfica, and who is coming up all the way down at the bottom? Let's just check. Oh, sadly, it's who we kind of expected to be at the bottom, and it's sadly Spencer Owen's beloved Real Oviedo. But you'll always be in our hearts, and to be honest, 22 is my lucky number. So they're sitting at 22nd in the league. If that's any happiness for them, I doubt it is. But anyway, moving on from there, Marseille not doing too good either. But like I said, because this is the second league, no teams will be getting relegated further down from this, but it's just good to see where the teams stand at the moment. And along with them, like I said, Rangers at the bottom as well. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff happening so far. Everton I would not have expected to be top, but it's pretty cool to see. Now we're going to sim to the end of the season and see who gets relegated, promoted, and if anything else happens that's kind of shocking. But just before we do that, I've just thought of something that we could potentially do, and that's going to actually be looking at the transfer history. So I've not even looked at this, but potentially some big transfers could have gone on whilst we simulated the whole of the transfer window. So let's see what's gone down in the transfer negotiations section. So as we can see, the biggest deal so far is for 55 million, and that's Marco Reus joining Barcelona. So that's a pretty interesting and big move on their behalf, looking for an intent from Barcelona, looking to win the league in the end. They are up there, so they could potentially, by the end of the simulation, be up there and win the league. Then we've also got Martinez of Bayern Munich moving to Chelsea, another statement of intent there. Another centre-back move just below that, Napoli's Koulibaly moving to Barcelona. A very, very good move indeed for him and for the club as well. Just below that, we've got another Napoli player leaving his club, and that's Marek Hamšík moving to Chelsea. Then we've got Danny Welbeck moving to Dortmund, that replacement for Marco Reus potentially. That's an odd one, but for 21 million, Dortmund snapped up Danny Welbeck. Pretty interesting stuff there, I guess. Nemanja Matic moving to Paris Saint-Germain. And then past that, they're kind of not so interesting, but I'll still scroll through just so you can see some of the moves that have gone through. Yeah, not too interesting past that, and then we'll just go back to the simulation. So as you can see, we're sitting here now getting ready to simulate through the last half of the season. I'm just going to skip through the months showing you the matches we have, and as you can see, April looks like a chocker killer month for us. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches is that. That's 7 matches in 1 month. That's incredible stuff. That is probably going to kill us. I'm surprised that, you know, teams aren't dropping down with cramp every 5 seconds if they, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, let's skip past that. And then we're into May. May's a little bit more chill, and then after that, everything ends. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go to the end and the last match of the season, and then we're going to simulate through and see how that gets on. So as you can see, guys, we're coming up to the last match in May, which is against Juventus. The season's getting wrapped up now, and we finished up on the 22nd of May, which, like I said before, 22 is my lucky number. It's because that is in fact my birthday. So it could be a sign. We've finished up on the 22nd of May, which is in fact my birthday. I'm telling you guys, it's conspiracy theories proven true here. Let's go and check what's happened. Right, it's looking pretty interesting. And Real Madrid have finished top of the Champions Ultimates League. I nearly said Champions League. It's the Ultimate League. Ultimate League, I'm not too sure what I'm calling it, but as we can see, Real Madrid are victors. They are number 1. They have won so far. They are the top team in the Ultimate League. Many people may have guessed that, to be honest. They were up there as the expected team to be winning, as they are a fantastic team. They won somewhat by a landslide, looking at all the teams that are in this league. As we can see, they actually won by 7 points over second place Manchester United. It's quite a landslide, seeing as though when you look at the winning games, Real Madrid won 24, and the closest team to them was in fact third place Chelsea with 20 wins. But overall, with the draw victories and stuff, Manchester United got up there in second place. Chelsea taking third. Barcelona, with their 2 acquisitions of Marco Reus and Koulibaly, couldn't manage to get up into the top 3, but they did capture 4th. They managed to get 68. A reasonable kind of number, to be honest, with looking at the teams that are in here. Bayern dropped away. They were up there near the top, and so were Paris Saint-Germain. They dropped into 6th. Then you've got Arsenal doing somewhat well for them with all these big teams around them. And once again, finishing on top of Spurs. That's going to probably cause a lot of conflict. Then we've got us, Man City finishing in 9th, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Dortmund, AS Monaco, Napoli, Roma, Porto and Sevilla all staying until next year. And then below them we've got Liverpool, RB Leipzig and Celtic sadly getting demoted to the league below us, to the second Ultimate League, if that's what we're going to call it. And yeah, we're going to go and check out the results from that league now as well. So I have not skipped across yet. As you can see, we've found the other league section of FIFA, so now we can skip across to see who is coming up to the Ultimate League number 1. So as you can see guys, we've found it now. We've gone on to the other league section, so we can skip across to see the second league. This is going to be the moment when we see which 3 teams are now going to be coming up to the first league of the Ultimate League kind of setup. So without any further ado, I think last teams when we looked, the top 3 teams were Everton, AC Milan, and I think it was it Benfica, or I think it was Benfica who were the top 3 teams. So let's see how it stands now. Ooh, interesting stuff. In fact, AC Milan have dropped right away down to 7th. That's the main thing I'm looking at. They were actually 2nd last time we looked. Benfica managed to take that top spot, as we can see by the points overall as well. They absolutely dominated. If we look in the far corner, they got 98 points, nearly touching 100 points in a league season. They'll be meeting us up in the top league next year. Villarreal, I can't remember where they were last time when we looked halfway through the season. They've done fantastic for themselves as well, getting 84 points. And then the people who were at the top of the league, that's Everton, as you can see at the top of the screen now. They will be coming up as well, but they finished in 3rd, so they kind of had a bit of a worse second half of the season for them. But as you can see, they'll still be grabbing promotion to the top leagues next year. So that's pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, let's go and check the top scorers from the first league and top assisters and all that. So the top scorers from the Ultimate League 1, if that's what you can call it, let's just call it Ultimate League and then second Ultimate League. So in the Ultimate League, the top goal scorers was in fact actually Eden Hazard. I can't remember where he was. He definitely wasn't near the top, but he got 19 goals for Chelsea in the end. That's a fantastic season for Eden Hazard. He had a very good second half to the season, because I don't even remember him being up near the top. Then we've also got Zlatan Ibrahimovic racking up his goals, getting up into the 18 number. Sorry, can't speak. And then as we can see, Ronaldo, who I think was on 10 halfway through the season, managed to score another 7 in the second half. Kind of a slower half to the season, but still very respectable, 17 goals. Then Griezmann, then Corona. He didn't have as good a second half as he did first. I think he was on 12 goals, was he? And now he only scored 3 in the second half of the season, so a very, very bad second half to him. But he still ended on top of Lewandowski by a goal, so not bad stuff from him. Looking at the assisters, Konoplyanka got 10 assists overall, a very, very good, respectable number for him, working hard for his team Sevilla, a team that I don't even think were near the top of the league, so good for him. Aubameyang as well, getting 8 assists, not bad at all. Costa of Bayern Munich doing not too bad. Cavani kind of dropped away. He was number 1 assist maker halfway through the season, but still very interesting stuff as well. And then Navas managed to get the best goalkeeper award, or most clean sheets should I say. David De Gea managed to get his head on, and he got those clean sheets. As we know, Manchester United finished 2nd in the league overall, so they did very well, because I think they were about 7th or 8th halfway through the season. So definitely David De Gea and Zlatan Ibrahimovic stepped up in the second half of the season. They've done very well, and yeah, good for them. Berkey and Neuer as well, getting up there as well, so definitely Berkey as well doing good for himself in there too. Yellow cards, it looks like De Rossi carried on his absolute abomination of all teams, destroying them, racking up those red cards, and as we can see, he ended top yellow card maker, or creator, or collector, I don't know. He's collecting them like I used to collect match attacks by the looks of things. And as we can see, Alderweireld is just underneath him with 8. Same for Fernando of Manchester City. And then also for that guy from RB Leipzig, who I've never even heard of before. Now we're going to go to red cards, and as we can see, Bender, Bonucci and Nzonzi got 2. Apart from that, pretty boring stuff. But guys, that has been my wrap up of the season. I hope you have enjoyed this, and to be honest, if you guys do enjoy it, be sure to like, comment and all the rest of more ideas potentially if you want to try something else. But if you do want to see a second episode and the second year to the Ultimate Leagues and how we progress, be sure to like this video and make sure you let me know in the comment section below, and that second episode will be up as soon as we can get it up. But thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been very, very good, and thank you for the support. See you in a bit, guys.